Hi, Room 15. It is Monday, April 20th, 2020. We are going to be exploring area with pattern blocks. Our learning targets today are we can create a composite shape by composing two-dimensional shapes, and we can identify triangles, quadrilaterals, and hexagons. What is area? So area is when you measure the space inside a shape. So please think about that word area. We are going to be using this word a lot in the next few days, and that's what we're going to be learning is how to measure the area, which is the space inside a shape. So how do you find the area of a shape? To find the area, you need to count the shapes inside. The number of squares that fill the inside is the area. So we're going to measure the area of the rectangles in the picture. We're going to be using small squares. So take a look at the first rectangle on top, the pink rectangle. Inside the pink rectangle, there are 20 squares, or what we call units. So the area of the pink rectangle is 20. The golden rectangle, there are 84 squares inside. So the area is 84. The purple is 42. So that would be the measurement of the area for the purple rectangle is 42, and then the blue is 15. All of these shapes are rectangles, but they're different sizes. So you would want to measure the area of the shapes because they're different sizes. So that's how you figure out what the area is, by using a shape and then measuring to see the different sizes of the shape. So we are going to be using triangles, rhombuses, trapezoids, and hexagons to help us find the area of different shapes. On the last page, we used squares, but now we're going to use these shapes, these two-dimensional shapes, when we measure. So there are different ways to measure area. You can use shapes to find the area. Let's use triangles to measure the area of different shapes. So one triangle equals 1 unit in this case, okay? So how many triangles would it take to measure the area of this rhombus? You would take the triangle and you would actually put it on top of the rhombuses like this to measure them. So we could fit one triangle right there and one triangle right there. And the rhombus uses two triangles to measure the area. So the area of a rhombus is 1 plus 1 equals 2. So the total area of a rhombus is 2 units. How many triangles would it take to measure the area of this trapezoid? Figure it out. Remember, one triangle equals 1 unit. So I'm going to take triangles and cover them, put them on top, and cover up the trapezoid, which is called composing. We're going to put together or compose triangles to create the same shape as the trapezoid. So we have 1. And remember, each triangle is worth 1 unit, which is why you write a 1 on it. And this is the shape of a trapezoid. So the total area of a trapezoid is 1 plus 1 plus 1, which equals 3 units. Because each triangle is 1 unit, so you would do 1 plus 1 plus 1 as your equation, which equals 3 total units. Let's try again with a hexagon. How many triangles would it take to measure the area of this hexagon? Remember, one triangle equals 1 unit. So it would take us 6 triangles to create a hexagon. So each triangle is worth 1 unit. So the area of a hexagon is 1 plus 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 1, which equals 6 units. So now you're going to practice composing the different shapes, so triangle, rhombus, hexagon, and trapezoid. And you are going to complete this worksheet. So I'm going to go over to Seesaw, and this is where your assignment will be. So remember, you want to click Add Response, and remember, this is I'm going to show you using our sample student. So this is what the instructions are. If a triangle is worth 1, you're going to click the Add Response. Remember, you can play the instructions if you need to. Measure the area of the shapes on each page. Use the shapes on each page to help you measure the area. Make sure you read the directions on each page. After you fill in the blank shapes, write an equation using the text box tool, or you can write an equation using the pencil tool. Click the check when you are done. If you need digital shapes, you can go to this website, which will look like this, okay? And here I will show you, you can drag shapes into the white space and you can put them over them. Today you're going to be using a lot of triangles, okay? So you can use triangles as well. I'll show you that in a minute. So now let's take a look at the worksheet that you're going to do. So a triangle is worth 1. Read the directions on each page. Remember that a triangle equals 1 unit. 1 rhombus equals 3 triangles. Actually, that should say 2. Let me fix that really quick. So 1 rhombus equals 2 triangles. 1 trapezoid equals 3 triangles, and 1 hexagon equals 6 triangles, okay? So then on page 2, this is the worksheet that you're going to be doing. Let's take a look at the directions. Find the area of the shapes. You can use a triangle to measure the area inside of the shapes. If you want to challenge yourself, you can use a rhombus. To use the shapes you need to click on the triangles and drag them to fill in the shapes. Write an equation to find the total area by clicking on the tool T on the left side. Then type your equation. You can also use the pencil tool. Okay, so let's take a look at the top. If the area of this triangle is worth 1 unit, what is the area of each of the shapes below? So remember, let's go back. Remember how we used the triangle to measure the rhombus? Oops, wrong page. Go to this page. So remember how we use the triangle to cover up this rhombus? So that's what you're doing right now. You're thinking about how many triangles would it take to measure these shapes. So what you can do is to help you, remember, each triangle is worth 1. So what you can do is you're going to take the shapes that are on this page and you can click on them. Okay, let me show you how to click on them. You're going to take your mouse cursor and you're going to go to the shape and click on it. Okay, then you're going to click your mouse pad and you need to drag it over here. If you have a touch screen, you could just tap on it and drag it where you need to. So as you can see, that is not the right direction. So if you read these directions over here, it says to use the shape, click on the shape you need, which we just did. Then drag the shapes into the blank shape. Oh, let me fix that. That is not spelled correctly. Okay. So if you need to rotate the shape, use this tool. So click on it. You can also use this finger to help you. So let me show you. You see how it is not selected? So if I click this finger, oh, it should select it. So you can just click on it if it doesn't select it. So up here, this is how you rotate it. Rotate means you move it, okay? So you need to be clicking on that picture and then moving it around that whole time. And then you need to kind of fit it into the shape. I'm going to get another triangle and bring it over here to help me to measure this rhombus. So the area is, you need to think of how many triangles it took to measure each of these shapes, okay? So you can use the pencil tool, which is down here, and you're gonna write in the area of each shape. Then you're gonna use shapes to measure down here. So I'm gonna remind you, you can use, So this would be a great example of how to use this. See how it highlighted that? So now you want to click on that. So this hand means that you're going to be dragging things around, okay? So you're going to drag it over here. But remember, this is a trapezoid. It is not one unit. You need to remember that you're using triangles. So if you have a trapezoid, you need to think of how many triangles it's going to take you to cover this trapezoid, okay? So think about it. If I go back to what we learned, a trapezoid is 3 units because it takes 3 triangles. So if I'm going to be measuring this part, I'm going to write it's 3, okay? It's not 1, this is worth 3. This triangle up here, oops, let me erase that. You can also click up here to undo, okay? So I need to go back to this selection tool, the hand. Okay, I don't need that triangle, but I can just click over here. Okay, I'm gonna drag this triangle. Remember, and a triangle is worth 1, okay? So why don't I just drag all of my shapes right now to help you? Okay, and I need another trapezoid. And I'm going to drag it over here. So now on the side, I'm going to use my pencil tool. This other trapezoid is also 3 units. The triangle is 1. This triangle is 1. So my equation, I'm going to use this tool, the T tool, and I'm going to write 1 plus 3 plus 3 plus 1, which equals 1 plus 3 plus 3 plus 1. Well, I know 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. 7 plus 1 is 8. Oops, I did minus sign. Let me fix that. So 8 units. So once you're done, you're going to click on it. And you can drag it over here. Remember, you can make it smaller by clicking on the little white dots on the side. And then you want to drag it over there, okay? So you're going to do the same for this shape. And then now there are a total of 4 pages, okay? So this is page 3. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to be measuring the area of these shapes, okay? And then you're going to go down here. And then these are challenge sheets. Okay, so you need to measure the area of these shapes. And then you're going to write the total area. You can use the pencil tool. So you want to drag these shapes into here. But remember, if you're using you want to go to the first page to see, this will tell you how many triangles each shape is. So if I'm going to be on this page and I use a trapezoid, okay, then, or I'm sorry, a hexagon, this is not worth 1. I'm going to go back to the first page, check what a hexagon is worth, and I know that a hexagon is worth 6, so I'm going to write 6 next to that hexagon to help me, okay? So please make sure that you're checking that first page and that you're using the shapes on each page to help you. All right, my friends, good luck.